Welcome to Sunny Day Stamping. I'm Julie Baca. Sign up for my weekly email to receive free project sheets and updates on sales. Today's card is another simple and easy one. I'm going to be using the Sweet as a Peach stamp set, but you can use any stamp set just using this same layout. We've got one layer that is embossed just to add some extra interest. That is also optional. And then you just need a stamp set that has kind of a large focal image and throw a sentiment on there. Let's get started. So here's just a close-up look at this clean and simple card. So as far as supplies, you don't need that much. You need a card base cut at 8.5 by 5.5 and scored at 4.25. You're going to need a colored piece of cardstock. I'm using Pool Party, 4.25 by 3.25. And for the inside, a white piece of cardstock, 5.25 by 4. You'll need a little strip for your sentiment. This is 3/4 by 3.25. And then you're also going to need just another piece of scrap to stamp and cut out your images. Now, all of these measurements are over on my website, sunnydaystamping.com. But you can also sign up for my weekly email, and I send out this project sheet that has all the supplies, all of the measurements, and some written instructions to help you. I'm going to be using the Sweet as a Peach bundle. This has been one of my favorite stamp sets, and it is retiring out of the annual catalog. The last day to be able to purchase that is May 2nd. So if you don't have this yet and you're interested, grab that before it's gone. It just is awesome. Has so many great sentiments, and the dies cut out all these images as well as some others. I'm also going to be using this little polka dot embossing folder. It comes in a pack of 2 called Checks and Dots embossing folders. These are also retiring, so you can get a good deal on these right now. I'll have a link to these supplies down in the description. Now, again, if you don't have this stamp set, I'm sure you have something that has a large image, so you can use all of these measurements to create your own card. Now, to start, we are going to use that embossing folder that I was just talking about, and I just have a tip for you. Now, these embossing folders have a line across the top, and so if you want to have it at a slant, you could, but if you want your images nice and straight, just line it up at the top there. Now, these are narrow little mini embossing folders, so they fit in that mini machine. Now, when you run these through your machine, it's best to run them with the fold of the folder running through. It just makes it easier on the machine. So now you just take this out. I'm always just like, wow, it's amazing when I pull these out of the folder. Now, our next step is going to be to stamp our sentiment on this strip. Now, you can pre-cut this if you want, or you can just cut it at the width, which is 3.25, and make it a really long strip, glue it on here, and then trim off the excess afterwards. Now, I totally forgot. These are the colors that I'm going to be using, but pick something that will work with your stamp set. So I'm going to make this a birthday card. So I grabbed that Happy Birthday out of the Sweet as a Peach stamp set, and I'm going to stamp this off to the right. Now we can go ahead and glue that on right now, I guess. And what we're going to do is glue it. You can see I did it once before. You're going to glue it like about a 1/2 inch. Holy wow, I can't believe that didn't land with the glue down. Thank goodness. Okay, so you're going to glue this about a 1/2 inch from the bottom and just line up the edges, or like I said, you could trim off the edge. All right, so we're going to set this aside and we'll do our flowers. So grab your piece of scrap, and what we're going to do is we're going to stamp our images on here and then use the dies to cut them out, or you can use scissors to cut them out. So I'm going to use this nice big leaf stamp. And then we're going to do flowers instead of the peaches from the example. So I'm going to do the flowers in Pale Papaya. And then the flowers have this little starburst, so you can add some color to the insides. Now grab your dies, and like I said, you can cut them out on your own, but man, that is not my favorite thing. So I like to use the dies. These all fit in that mini machine. I do have a tip for you. I don't know if you are a craft supply collector like I am, but I've got a bunch of washi tape because usually you buy it in like packs, and there's usually one that is like not my favorite color. So anyway, I use that to line up my dies on here so that cuts them nice and straight. I get really annoyed when they aren't cut straight. So you can use any kind of like low tack tape because you don't want to tear your paper. So go ahead and run this through your machine. Now I really love this die because you have one die and one stamp, but it cuts them out individually. It just saves so much time that way. So you're just going to remove these, and I reuse this tape until it doesn't stick anymore because you don't want it to be tacky anyway. And then, oh, I know, I had one more tip for you. You can see that I use this for another project. I store all of my scraps. Where is my thing? Here we go. I store all of my scraps just in these page protectors. So when I'm looking for a scrap piece of paper for a sentiment or something else, I am not wasting any paper. So now you can see that these flowers go just on the ends of these stems there. So I'm just going to glue that on. Just going to put a little bit of glue on each of those stem ends and then place my flowers on top. Now in the example, I used the peaches from the same stamp set. Ooh, and at the end, I've got examples because I stamped these on colored paper, and that looks really cool. So I'll show you that. Okay, so now we have the elements for our card. Now I'm not going to place that on there yet because I want to put this on my card base. So grab your card base and fold it on the fold line. Even though there's that score line there, I do still like to line it up because sometimes it's a little off. And then just score it with your bone folder. If you don't have thick paper, you won't need that bone folder, but if you use the Stampin' Up! Paper, it's so nice and thick, but you do need that folder to make it nice. Okay, so just place a little bit of glue on the back of here. And the way I have the dimension of this little piece of paper is for it to have more margin at the bottom. So you're going to want to line this up so it's equidistant on the top and the three sides, but then there's going to be a bigger margin at the bottom. And if that annoys you, you can just add another 1/4 inch to this measurement. But I don't know, I just wanted it to look a little different. Okay, I mean, this is it. This is such a quick card. So now we're going to add our flower piece, but I'm going to pop it up with dimensionals. And so what I'm going to do is put a dimensional behind each flower. And then, let's see, we'll add one more there. I think I want a little one there. So they sell Stampin', or they sell like mini dimensionals, but you can also just cut these. I'm just using the edge here. I'm going to put that there. Okay, so when you orient this on your piece, I really like the flowers extending past the line of that embossed layer. And I also want this extending into our sentiment layer. So just kind of eyeball it, and when you got it where you want it, press those in. Now we're going to add a little bow. You could just leave it like that if you want, but I think this would be really pretty. So I'm going to use linen thread because 1, it's cheap, and 2, it's very easy to tie. So you're going to decide how much tail you want. So that might be a little bit much. And then you just tie a very simple bow like you're tying your shoelace. Now, you can see that that doesn't look so good, right? But what you do is you just hold that knot and pull the tail until you've got the little ears on your bow looking perfecto. There we go. I think that's so cute. And then you just trim the ends. You could trim the linen thread first, but I like to keep it on the spool so that I don't waste any linen thread. I'm such a thrifty crafter, but you know, Okay, so now you can use your multi-purpose glue if you want, but I have found that these little mini glue dots just make things easier. And you know, I craft because I'm enjoying myself, so when things make it easier for me, I am gonna do that. So you can see that that glue dot is extending a little bit past the where I want it to be, so you can like roll it up on itself like that. And then I'm just going to place it at the base of this stem. And then that just extends out. Oh, so pretty. So now we will stamp the inside. On the inside, we're actually going to use the big peach. So I'm going to ink up this in pale papaya. Oh, wait, I forgot. Grab your sponge dauber and ink that up in a darker color. I'm using Calypso Coral. And you can use it to add dimension to the stamp before you put it on your paper. I have made so many projects using this stamp set, and I am going to link the playlist right up here at the top. I'll also put a link down in the description so you can see what else you can do with this stamp set. Okay, so I am going to orient this not in the center because I'm going to put some words on here. I'm going to orient it off to the right a little bit. There, see all that dimension? Oh, I love it, love it. Okay, now it also comes with a stem. And this stem can go both ways. So if you have the peach on this side, you can do it this way, or you can rotate this around and put it that way. So this is a happy birthday. So I'm going to use the 2 sentiments, which is, what does it say? Hope your day is as sweet as a peach. So let's see. I think I'll put this first. Hope your day is, and I'm going to extend into that peach. Now you could do this in black, but I was just trying to like make the supply list as small as possible. So I just chose 3 ink colors. Now this stamp set also has this tiny, precious little leaf. So I'm going to put that right there. So cute. Let's glue this in. Now we can't forget our envelope. So for the envelope, I'm just going to pull in these same elements from the front of my card. You can definitely do something different, but I am just going to make it easy on myself. Now these flowers, you just have to rotate them so that they are over those stems. Add your little starburst. Then I'm going to take this little hello and put it here, I think. And then let's add a couple little, I mean, I cannot not use these cute little flowers that come in here with that little leaf thing again. Just put that right here. All right, let me show you some other examples. So these are all ones I made with that stamp set. We just made the flowers. The peach was the example, and it also has just a nice big peach. Let me show you what's on the inside of these just to give you some ideas. Oh yeah, this one, I cut my card base the wrong way. So it actually opens like this, but you know, I didn't want to waste the paper, and that works too. Okay, so for these, I stamped on colored paper. So I did just the same thing, but instead of stamping on white cardstock, I used the same color of cardstock as I did the inks. So I did pale papaya cardstock and pear pizzazz ink, which, I mean, these look super awesome. Oh, and I wanted to show you what it looks like with a white embossed layer. Oh, and I forgot I did this. These are so cute. So I took the flowers from a front of this card, and in that die set there are these precious little leaves, and just put those in there. Let me show you what's in the rest of these. Oh yeah, it comes with these tiny little flowers, which are so cute. Oh, and one more thing I wanted to add. On this one, I just did a double bow to give it just some more fullness. So to do that, you just take your thread, fold it over, and then tie your bow. If you have any questions about this project, or if you need help ordering please let me know. I am happy to help. I'd love to be your Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. Thank you so much for watching. Have a sunny day.